everyone's got something to say. How about you?
Not me.
I'm willing to put in an hour.
Great. I heard a pretty good story last night. So this woman comes running into the doctor's office, stripped at the waist.
That's not what we're sitting here for.
All right. Then you tell me, what are we sitting here for?
Maybe for nothing. It's just, this boy has been kicked around all his life. You know, living in the slums. His mother dead since he was 9. He spent a year and a half in an orphanage while his father served a jail term for forgery. That's not a very good head start. He's had a pretty terrible 16 years. I think we at least owe him a few words, that's all.
I don't mind telling you this, mister, but we don't owe him a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think that trial costs? He's lucky he got it. Look, we're all adults here. We all heard the same facts. You're not going to tell us we're supposed to believe that kid, knowing what he is. Look, I've lived among them all my life, and these kids are born liars.
It suddenly occurs to me that you must be an ignorant woman.
What do you mean? What's he talking about?
Do you think you have a monopoly on the truth?
Well, what are you making a federal case out of it for? How do you like this guy?
I think certain things should be pointed out to this woman.
All right, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon in here.
A monopoly, for Christ's sake.
If we're gonna discuss the case, let's stick to the facts.
Right. We have a job to do. Let's do it. Maybe that gentleman who's disagreeing down there could tell us why. You know, tell us what he thinks. We could show him where he's probably mixed up.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's one of the products I work on at the ad agency. Rice Pops, the breakfast with the built-in bounce. I wrote that line.
It's very catchy.
If you don't mind.
Sorry, I just have this habit of doodling. Keeps me thinking clearly.
We're trying to get someplace here. You know, we can sit here forever.
Well, listen, I might have an idea here. It seems to me that it's up to us to convince this gentleman here that we're right and he's wrong. I mean, maybe if we each took a minute or two, just a quick thought.
No, I think it's a good one. Supposing we go once around the table in order of dray numbers.
Anything. Let's start it off.
Okay, that means you're first.
Oh, well, it's hard to put into words. I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious from the word go. I mean, nobody proved otherwise.
No one has to prove otherwise. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't have to open his mouth. That's in the Constitution. You've heard of it?
I've heard of it. I know what it is. What I meant, look, the man's guilty, okay? Someone saw him do it.
Okay. Now, here's what I feel. And I have no personal feelings about this. I'm talking facts. Number one, let's take the old man who lived on the second story, right underneath the room where the murder took place. At 10 minutes to 12, on the night of the killing, he heard loud noises in the apartment upstairs. He said it sounded like a fight. Then he heard the boy yell out, I'm gonna kill you. Look, I'm a sentimentalist the next guy. I know he's only 16, but he's got to pay for what he did.
I'm with you, Pops.
Well, it was obvious to me anyway that the boy's entire story was flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies during the time of the murder, and yet 1 hour later, he couldn't remember the names of the pictures he saw or who played in them.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
No one saw him going into or out of the theater.
That's right. And what about the lady across the street? If her testimony don't prove it, nothing does.
That's fine. She was the only one that saw the killing.
Let's go in order here.
Just a second. So, here's this woman. Here's this woman who's lying in bed. She can't sleep, dying with the heat, know what I mean? Anyway, she looks out her window, and across the L tracks, she sees the boy stick the knife into his father. The time is 12:10 on the nose. Everything fits. She's known the boy all his life. His window was right opposite hers across the L tracks. She swore she saw him do it.
Through the windows of a passing elevated train.
That's right. This L train was being moved downtown. It had no passengers on it. The lights were out, remember? They proved it in court. You can look straight through the windows of an L train and see what's going on the other side. They proved it.
I'd like to ask you something.
Sure.
You don't believe the boy. How come you believe the woman? She's one of them too, isn't she?
You're a pretty smart fellow, aren't you?
Hey, let's take it easy.
Well, what's he being so wise about? I'm telling you.
Listen, calm down. Just sit down. What are you letting him get you all upset for?
Right. Let's try to keep it peaceful in here. Whose turn is it?
You
Okay.
can talk about it forever. I mean, the kid is 0 for 5. Look at his record. He was in children's court when he was 10 for throwing a rock at his teacher. At 14, he was in reform school. He stole a car. He's been arrested for mugging. He's been picked up twice for trying to slash another teenager with a knife. He's real quick with those switch knives, they said. Yeah, this is a very fine boy.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fist.
So would I, a kid like that.
Wouldn't you call those beatings a motive for him to kill his father?
I don't know. It's a motive for him to be an angry kid, I'll say that.
It's the way the kids are nowadays. Angry, hostile. Can't do a damn thing with them. Listen, when I was his age, I used to call my father sir. That's right, sir. You ever hear a boy call his father that anymore?
Fathers don't seem to think it important anymore.
No? Have you got any kids?
2.
Yeah? Well, I've got one. He's 20. We did everything for that boy. And what happened? When he was 9, he ran away from a fight. I saw him. I was so ashamed I almost threw up. So I told him outright, I'm gonna make a man out of you, I'm gonna bust you in half trying. Well, I made a man out of him, all right. When he was 16, we had a battle. He hit me in the face. He's big, you know? Haven't seen him in 2 years. Rotten kid. You work your heart out. All right, let's get on with it.
I think we're missing the point here. This kid, let's say he's a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help that. We're here to decide whether the boy is innocent or guilty of murder, not to go into reasons why he grew up this way. He was born in a slum. Slums are breeding grounds for criminals. I know it, so do you. It's no secret. Children who are born into slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society. Now, I think
Brother, you can say that again. I mean, the kids who crawl out of those places are real trash. I don't want anything to do with them, know what I mean?
I lived in a slum all my life. I nursed that trash in Harlem Hospital 6 nights a week.
Okay, now wait a second.
I used to play in a backyard that was filled with trash. Maybe it still smells on me.
Now listen.
Now, let's be reasonable. There's nothing personal.
There is something personal.
Now come on, she didn't mean it. Let's not be so sensitive.
It's a sensitivity, I understand.
All right. Let's stop all this arguing. We're wasting time here. It's your turn. Let's go.
Well, I didn't expect a turn. I thought you were all supposed to be convincing me. Wasn't that the idea?
Check. I forgot that.
Well, what's the difference? He's the one keeping us here. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Oh, just a second. We agreed to do it a certain way. Let's stick to what we said.
Stop being a baby, will you?
A baby? Listen, what do you mean by that?
What'd you think I mean? B-A-B-Y. Baby.
What? Just because I'm trying to keep this thing organized? Listen, you want to do it? Here. You sit here. You take the responsibility, and I'll just shut up, that's all.
Calm down, will you? What are you getting so hot about?
Don't tell me to calm down. Here. Here's the chair. You keep it going all smooth and everything. What do you think? It's a snap? Come on, Matter Foreman. Let's see how great you run the show.
Did you ever see such a thing?
What, do you think it's funny or something?
Take it easy. The whole thing is unimportant.
Unimportant. You want to try it?
No, you're doing a beautiful job. Nobody wants to switch.
Yeah, you're doing great, okay? Hang in there, bitch.
Well, if you want to hear how I feel about things right now, that's okay with me.
I don't care what you do.
Well, I haven't anything brilliant. I know as much as you do. According to the testimony, the boy looks guilty. Maybe he is.